Coming up on the show, we'll chat with Toby Schmitz from the play Gaslight.
The actor in me likes pulling the rug, likes thrilling and scaring an audience, and it's all a big magic trick.
We'll also be joined by Bettie Bang Bang ahead of her show at Bartholomew's.
I guess I really loved the idea of going onto stage and conveying an idea to an audience. It just blew me away, and I was like, I want to do that on stage. How do I do this?
Produced on Awabakal and Warramai Land, this is The Good Stuff on Newcastle Live.
This is
Good
stuff.
The good stuff.
Hello and welcome back to The Good Stuff. I don't know about you, but I'm going to be out every bloody night of this weekend, and we're going to tell you about all of the stuff that you can get up to too. As well as our chat with Toby Schmitz and Bettie Bang Bang, we also have a super special warehouse session and interview with Pitt. We're going to pick out some things from the Newcastle Live gig guide, give you an update on the ocean baths, and heaps more. But before we get into it, Dan's going to tell you about the Teskey brothers coming back to the Hunter next year.
Newcastle Live. Newcastle Live.
I'm going back to my hometown now. Aussie soul rockers, the Teskey brothers, will be in the Hunter on the 18th of January to headline a day on the green at Bimbadgin. They'll hit the Hunter with American indie rockers Band of Horses and genre-blending artist Serena Farrell. Pre-sale kicks off on Monday. Head to newcastlelive.com.au to find out more.
Good
Stuff.
You ever been gaslit? Bet you haven't. The psychological thriller Gaslight has just kicked off its season at the Civic Theatre, featuring Toby Schmitz.
The play's been a hit since it first appeared in the late 30s. Went from London to New York, where it had like a monster run, held the record for the longest running play for years. I think that it's just, in its essence, a really good Hitchcock kind of thriller. You don't know what's happening, despite there being a bit of a clue in the title. You think you know, and then you don't, and then you think you know, and then you don't. There's nothing like a well-crafted thriller, and this one has elements of kind of 1930s noir, sort of psychological thrills, but it's set in late Victorian era, so you also get the Victorian sort of gothic horror of things going bump upstairs and, is the place haunted kind of stuff. What do I identify most with about my character? I think that the actor in me likes pulling the rug, likes thrilling and scaring an audience, and it's all a big magic trick. I think the character is, at the end of the day, really trying to avoid spoilers, somewhat unknowable. He's one person and then he's another and then he's another. Clues in the title. But what I identify most with him is the adrenaline rush of messing with people. Yeah.
Be sure to get out and see Gaslight before it finishes up in Newy this Sunday.
Good stuff.
Hey, we're Pitt at Warehouse Sessions, and this is our next single, Don't Come Running Back. Yeah, we've never really played outside of Newcastle and Sydney, so just to go out, and expand, more people can hear our music from places that's not Newy. That's really exciting for us. And we have a week in between shows as well, so we're going to bring our surfboards up. We're surfers, and we're just going to surf and go to the beach every day.
So that's through Vinyl Records. Can you tell me a little bit about how you got to know them?
Yeah, so we messaged them and we just kind of introduced ourselves last year. We were just like, we're Pitt, if you ever want to do anything, we'd be keen. And then they messaged us back and said, we're doing an album compilation, which comes out July 1st as well. And he said, would you be keen on being on that? So it's, I think it's 2 songs on the vinyl and 1 on the CD, or the other way around. So we have our 2 Don't Come Running Back and Use Me on there. And and then he just said there's some tour dates with it, and we were kind of like, many more gigs are better, so we were like, that's cool. And then we found out it was going up to Brisbane and stuff, and we were just stoked, so yeah.
Amy Stevens will hit the stage at Flamingos this weekend with her show Lady Sings the Blues, which explores the amazing work of female artists throughout the years. Following sold-out performances at the Sydney Festival, this show covers the work of some absolute trailblazers, including Aretha Franklin, Nina Simone, Tina Turner and Whitney Houston, just to name a few. There are only a couple of tickets left, so head to flamingos.live to find out more.
Good stuff.
The fabulous queen of burlesque, Bettie Bang Bang, has created a magical evening of circus, drag and burlesque called Le Carnaval.
So I started in Sydney. I was living in Sydney for a long time, and the burlesque and cabaret scene down there are wonderful. So once you get into it and you start with your solo or you're in a troupe, you kind of start to find your people. Sydney's great. Oxford Street is where I started at Slide Bar. Represent, because it's closed now. But I remember going on stage and doing my first solo, and there were so many people there, and it was terrifying, but it was also very exciting, because people band around you and support you, and then you find if you're more, burlesque or cabaret, and it's an amazing environment. So that was Sydney, and then I moved up to Newcastle with my husband 2 years ago, and it's probably the best life decision we've ever made.
Yes!
So nice here. But the scene is really great too, because there's such a big drag scene up here, which I love. But also bringing the circus and burlesque and cabaret has been great.
Le Carnaval is happening tonight at Bartholomew's. Be sure to go and give Bettie Bang Bang a follow so that you can find out when she'll next be on stage.
This is
Good stuff.
If there's one thing Newy's Jack Black knows, it's ocean baths. And I can't... Big Newer and the guys over at City of Newcastle have released their vision for the final stage of the Newcastle Ocean Bars upgrade. This stage will focus on the refurbishment of the pavilion buildings, including maintaining the Art Deco facade and enhancing the upper promenade and surrounding areas. You can find out more and see a stack of photos by heading to newcastlelive.com.au. That's it. See you later.
this is where it
Sounds good.
Good stuff.
It's time to get into our gig guide for this weekend. On Friday night, Andy Gollidge will be yee-hawing at Stag. DJ Dorothy will bring the Rave of Innocence to King Street, and the Viper Creek Band are playing at Blackbutt Hotel. On Saturday, Goon Gremlins will be playing at the Adamstown Bowling Club with Unpretty and Bistro Play. What a sick name. Lamphead will play the Newcastle leg of their album tour at King Street, and Matt McLaren will be at the Tea Gardens Hotel. On Sunday, you can catch the Years at Hotel Arana. Greg Bryce will be at the Toronto Hotel, and the Rogue Scholar House Band will be joined by Aaron White. To find out more and get out of the house, head to newcastlelive.com.au and see our gig guide.
Good
Stuff.
That's enough of the good stuff for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to leave a like, comment and subscribe, and of course, share the episode with a friend if you really liked it. Yuck. If you want to find out more about anything that you've seen on the show today, be sure to head to newcastlelive.com.au, and we'll see you next week for more of the good stuff. Bye-bye.